And we are live, and hello to everyone out there in our beautiful world who is watching us either on this live or the recorded. Thank you for joining us, for shining the light on our community. Of course, I'm Sophia from our sacred community, and today I have with me the beautiful Julie. Beautiful Julie, who's going to be coming and chatting about how we can improve our confidence, basically, and really live the life that we dream of, which I really loved, Julie. So thank you for joining us. First
Thank
of all,
you.
I'm looking forward to this conversation, and I'm really grateful that you've put aside some time to come and join us to talk about all the things that you offer and how you actually can help people to regain their confidence. It's something that's really dear to my life.
Mm,
When I first started, I had no confidence in speaking. I even had a stutter, right? Because I didn't think I was worthy enough to speak. But when you tap into your confidence, it really brings out the opportunities that you can live the life that you love. Yeah.
so true, so true. And I have to say, well, first of all, thank you for having me. I love your platform. I love your message, everything that you do. You gather such incredibly gifted, beautiful women and individuals who are impacting this world in such beautiful ways. So it's a pleasure to be here. And it's hard to imagine that you lack confidence because this is your medium and you're so natural at it.
Thank you. Thank you for that. But it's been a journey. And
Mm,
that's what I'd love to know, because I haven't had it really introduced you that much. I know you're a founder and the CEO of your services, Go Confidently services,
mhm,
and a business and life strategist coach.
mhm, mhm.
Um, but what I want to know, Julie, is I want to know about you. Tell us tell us about your journey
Yeah,
and
I'd love to
how
do
you
that.
got to where you are now.
Well, my journey, and I love the analogy of a journey. I love to travel and journeys. I think it's a great way to understand that there's a beginning point and eventually there is an end point, but there is that everyday different occurrences than the places that we go. And for me, my journey began as an educator. Eventually, I left education a couple of years in and went to work in the corporate America. I worked for an educational company, and I was very fortunate to have my formative years in the corporate America work for a company that really invested in training, helping, supporting individuals that from within the company and help them grow. By the time I left that company, I was part of the senior executive team, and it was amazing because I wanted to grow up the corporate ladder, and I had some great support and some great training. I became very successful in the company, but I left for another company that did some of the very similar work that the other company did. I also wanted to at the time, I was married, living in New York, and I wanted to not travel as much as I had been traveling. And when I started working for the second company, eventually my first marriage ended. And that really took a big hit to my confidence because although I was doing very well professionally in my relationship and that part of was I worthy of love? Would I ever find love again? Would I be alone? There were so many different questions that were there. But ultimately, I was fortunate enough that number one, I had supportive friends and family. Number two, I continued to be successful in my career. My dad was one of my biggest fans, mentor, and to some extent the coach. And he kept saying, honey, just keep showing up. He's the one who first introduced me to the quote by Henry David Thoreau: go confidently in the direction of your dreams, live the life you have imagined. And for me, going confidently, it's about that journey. It's about showing up. And I will tell you that there are days in which I show up, but I don't show up as confidently. I don't show up as having it all together. And this is not just unique to myself. This is something that happens to all of us. And this is why when my tenure in my second company ended, and by the time I left that company, and it was at the beginning of the pandemic, I had grown to the C-suite. I had hit, as high as you could go with a company. But I separated with the company because of the pandemic, and I went in my own direction. And this is when I started my services. But the goal is that I wanted to help other women specifically, because I had been there, in which women would say, I wish I could have your confidence. I wish I was doing what you're doing. Fill in the blank, right? But I want women to know that when you see someone that is doing something great, doesn't mean that they have it all together. It just means that they keep showing up and they keep going confidently. Fast forward, throughout, I'm remarried. I'm remarried to someone who is very supportive and loving, and definitely the person for me. But the thing is that it's not just about showing up, but it's also about the right habits. And I'm a work in progress, as all of us are. But it's key that as you're doing this work, that you continue to really bring light into what your gifts are. Stop the comparisonitis that we all suffer from, and really focus on living in the moment, and not thinking between the gap that is from where you started and where you want to be and where you are now. Because every time that you are thinking, I'm here, but I want to be there, that gap makes it very difficult to keep going and to feel confident in going.
Thank you. You're speaking my language. So thank you so much for sharing that. And I'd just like to really just honor you for bringing this to the world, because there's so many, within every woman, there's the word that is coming is a masterpiece.
So beautiful.
Really is. And it just takes women like you to help bring that out.
Oh, that's so kind. It's Sophia. I have to say that, that this is the kind of beshert or kismet. I don't know what the word would be in a different language, but meant to be is the phrase. I spoke to someone earlier today, and we were talking about how as women, we are a masterpiece, and we need to learn to appreciate ourselves, and then learn just the same way that we appreciate others and admire the gifts that we have been given, instead of thinking that they're not enough, because that's really what keeps us circling, and spiraling out of control, is not thinking that we are enough and not thinking that we can do it. And at times I am not free of these thoughts, but the key is to really continue to give yourself the grace and go back to appreciating where you are, and being aware that, hey, I'm feeling these things, or I'm thinking these things. And then as the more awareness that you bring into yourself in this moment, the more that you will be able to maybe take one step forward. Keep going and appreciating that yesterday I was at a different place, but I keep moving forward.
Yes, absolutely. Totally agree with you. And it's just that it's taking those steps and moving forward, no matter what. Even if we go a little bit backwards, from we all have days off.
That's right. We all do.
We all do, no matter who we are. But you just keep going. You get up the next day and go, this is a brand new day. So thank you for sharing that. I'd like to just touch on one thing that you mentioned previously, is comparison. Comparisonitis. We compare ourselves all the time. But how can we really stop that? What measures have you done to put in your life that you no longer compare yourself to all the people in the world and all those boxes?
Okay, so here's number one. The coach in me is going to tell you that your brain is prone to being negative. Number one, your brain's always going to focus on the negative, and we're not going to stop comparing ourselves to others. We're going to learn to do it less and less. We're going to learn to do it less and less. We're going to, the more that we start to create what we want and celebrate right? The achievements, and celebrate ourselves, because our brain scientists have found that our brain changes when we feel good. And when we are comparing ourselves to others and we feel terrible about who we are, what we're not achieving, what we're not doing, then that prevents us from getting better at the thing, right, that we want. So if you stop and notice, right, ooh, I am saying I'm not as good as Sophia because she's got this beautiful show and she has all these guest speakers. Oh, Julie, you can never measure up to Sophia. Of course, I'll never measure up to Sophia because my gifts are very different from yours. But if I bring awareness and just begin to be open to like, oh, I'm comparing myself. Okay, Julie, go back to your lane and do your thing, right? That will help us begin to rewrite some of the programming. We're not going to erase it because that's part of already our brain's program, but we can create new programming, new habits, new things, and begin that appreciation and make the shift. That's what we're hoping to. You know, even the people that are the most confident in the world, they have the ability to say, oh, look at that person. But the difference is that then they say, but this is me and I'm going to try it this way and I'm going to keep going. And they keep heading and giving themselves grace for being where they are.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And it's so true. You know, and I love what you just finished. You know, giving yourself grace, appreciating for where you are now on your journey. Yeah. And, you know, and not worrying about or comparing ourselves to others that might be further on their journey in our perception, right, but to see how far that we've already come.
Yeah. And you know what happens too, Sophia, is that as we're in this journey, I don't know if you or your audience, if you've ever heard of the Camino de Santiago, which is a 790-kilometer pilgrimage in Spain. And I've done it a couple times. I'm heading back this year. But one of the things that happens is as you're walking down this road, the people that I'm going to meet in my journey are very different from you, who may be 20, 50, 100 kilometers ahead of me. But if I keep paying attention to where you are, oh my gosh, I've got to get closer to where Sophia is in that road, then the people around me I'm not present to them. Maybe there's someone that needed to hear the conversation from me. Maybe there's someone that I can give an encouraging word to where I am right then and there, as opposed to focusing where I'm not and looking to someone that's ahead of you. So that is very key. Stay where you are, because where you are is a place that you can still have a great impact only if you allow yourself to do so.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So having a great impact when we allow ourselves to do, no matter where we are in our journey, because it's such an inspiration. I mean, you know, talking to you, you're very inspirational, Julie.
Oh, Sarah, you're so kind. Thank you.
Thank you. And so many people, we don't realize that how much we can inspire others. You know, I talked to someone in our community a little while ago, and they were inspired by seeing another member live on Zoom who was still in bed. Because she wasn't well physically, so she was attending our Zoom meetings, being in bed, but yet she didn't realize how many people that she touched.
Yeah.
Because they can see that, well, if you can, you know, if that person can do that, so can I. So can I. So I love how it is about inspiring, no matter where we are. I'm going to be watching this, and for everyone who is watching either the live now or the recording, I do really recommend going back and writing down all these tidbits, these masterpieces that Julie, that you're sharing. And I love them and stuff. And what are some other things that people can do? You know, if you've got someone who, you know, really wants to share their passion, whether it's speaking, you know, by sharing their story, or writing, or anything, or in any other form, but to share their passion. They've got this passion within them, but they're not confident enough about sharing it to the world. You know, it's like
Well,
thinking
I'm going
of,
to give you my not so top secret,
yes,
but this is the one that I know has made a big impact for me when I worked with clients, with entrepreneurs starting to build their thing, whether it be a coaching practice, whether it be a book, or I have individuals who are part of my radio show, and they started their show, and at first they feel uneasy, they feel like they can't do it. As a tiny habits coach, I'm going to always tell you, start small. Start small, because when you start small, then you can get a win. You can get a really easy win. And like I said before, when your brain feels good, then you're like, "Ooh, I want to do that again." And then you do it again. The premise of a tiny habit is that, and many of us want to create a habit to start working out, eating healthy, drinking water. But what happens is that research has found that motivation is not what creates a habit. Consistency of doing it 21, 66 days is not what creates a habit. Feeling good is what actually automates the behavior. So you have to continue to do the behavior, and your brain will say and automate that behavior when it say, "Well, I feel good." For instance, for me, when I first started my writing process for my book, I wanted to write, I don't know, what was it, like 3,000 words a day. And I would wake up in the morning and write. And there were some days that I woke up and I'm like, "Oh, I don't feel like writing. I don't know what to say." And then I would feel like a terrible person. "Oh, I'm going to be a failure. I'll never have this book out there." And then I started to say, okay, my goal is that I'm going to come to my desk and open the blank piece of paper, and I'm going to type one sentence. That's it. One sentence. So whether on the days that I woke up and I wrote one sentence, or on the days that I woke up and I wrote pages, I was always successful. Because once I finished that first sentence, I celebrated myself. I said, "Good job, Julie. Oh, you did it," or check off, and creating that feel good sensation that all of a sudden it became an automation. And then I was able to just keep going. And for many of us, we think that we have to go big or go home to be successful. But success starts with letting yourself feel like you're capable of. When we want to try to bite too much of an elephant, we're going to think, "Oh my God, I'm never going to finish this." But you eat it one step at a time, one little tiny habit at a time. And like plants, habits can grow. Habits can grow and expand, but you need to start just with one tiny thing. So ask yourself whether it's writing the book, starting your business. Create that automation, and then behavior wise, pair it up with something that you already do, right? So for me, it was writing one sentence a day. So what is it that I already did? Oh, I came to my office first thing in the morning. So when I came to my office first thing in the morning, I opened the program where I was typing the book, right? So I'm pairing and I'm creating that automation, because behavior and habits need to have that anchor moment. And that's that anchor moment. So the recipe, Sophia, is when I do this, I will do this and then celebrate. That's the recipe.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And it's so simple. And I really love, again, there's so many nuggets here, excuse me, so much gold, and just going back from what you just said, to celebrate the little things. How often, I mean, unfortunately, I'm saying how often or how much do we not hear people celebrating themselves in
we don't.
The little things. And this is totally different from ego. Having the ego of, "Look, I've done this and how wonderful I am." But it's celebrating those little things that we do for ourselves.
Absolutely. Because you know what? Here's the thing. If we don't give ourselves credit, somebody else may not, number one. And number two, we teach people how to treat us. So if you treat yourself with respect, with grace, with caring, and listen, I don't have it all together. I want to be very clear. I'm not this, enlightened guru that is perfect. But on the days that I don't do it, I go back and I'm like, Julie, it's okay. Let's start again tomorrow. But give yourself that grace, because then that's the boundary and that's the expectation that you will have for others. And there's many women in particularly out there who sometimes do it all for everyone except for themselves. And then you wonder where you don't get respected or be given the grace or whatever. But that's because you didn't set a boundary, because you yourself are not creating that for yourself. And hear me, you are worth it. You are so unique and precious in your gifts that you deserve to be loved and respected and accepted for who you are. But you have to start doing the work for yourself.
Mm, thank you. And it's true. Doing the work for ourselves. It's another thing too is, and I'd love to know with your beliefs and concepts of how confidence relates to motivation, and also inspiration, because what you just said, like doing the work for ourselves. I know from my personal experience, I went through a period in my life where I knew that I had to change. I knew that I had to do things, but I didn't want to.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't want to do the work. A lot of it was because I had a very challenging life, childhood, and it was a struggle to grow up. And it was just like, I don't want to do any more work. I want other people to change, or I want the universe to change me, or I want whatever you want to believe. But I don't want to do the work. So how can we overcome that? And how can we, motivate ourselves to take those little steps?
Yeah. So, and I think that this is so true. I call the behaviors we don't like to do our frenemies, right? Because they're friends, but they're our enemies. They're friends because they've been here all along. And we want to change that behavior. We want to do the thing. But it's tough because, again, our brain likes to be very efficient with what we do. So, for instance, when you're trying to create a new habit, your brain is already automated the behavior that maybe rather than going for a walk, a run, a yoga, whatever it is, your brain is kind of sitting at your table, maybe scrolling social media, or if you're trying to cut back on what you eat, or you're trying to journal, whatever it is, there's already a behavior that is established that your brain automatically does. I'll give you an example. This morning, I was wiping down the counter in the bathroom, and I have a lotion and a soap right next to each other. Okay. And I happen to put the lotion where the soap goes, and I flipped the order in which they were. And then I went to the bathroom later on, and I went to wash my hands, and rather than putting soap in my hand, I put lotion in my hand. Why? Because my brain has automated the process of just reaching for the soap. Sure. So many times we think to ourselves, and this is what happens, we say, I wish I had that motivation. I wish I was more motivated. What's wrong with me? Why can't I get motivated? Well, you can't get motivated because your brain has already automated whatever it is that you're doing, that is not the behavior that you want to adopt. So first begin to figure out and take inventory of what is your automations. What are the things that you're already doing? I wanted to start drinking more water. And really, this is something that I'm a work in progress. I don't drink all my water every day, but I'm better at it every day. And you know why? Because I started to look at what automations were there, rather than beating myself up and saying, Julie, oh my gosh, how can you not drink water? Just drink water. Get your water. You need water. You be healthier. Then what I started to do is I started to look where in my day I could fit the behavior, which was drinking the water. So what is one thing that I already do? What's an established behavior that I already do? Well, every morning, Sophia, I have 3 little dogs, the Fluff Squad, that need to be let out. So the three little fluffers have to come down the stairs, and they run downstairs first thing in the morning, and I open the back door and I let them out to go do their business. So that's my automation. That has to happen every morning, no matter what, right? So what I do is I paired my desired behavior to that automation. So when I let the dogs out, I fill up my water bottle, right? And guess what happens? I then celebrate. Oh, good job, Julie. You filled up your water bottle. And once it's full, guess what? I just take a sip. And throughout the day, anytime that I let them out, I also drink. But then there's the other thing. I have to go to the bathroom every time I drink water. So when I go to the restroom and I come back, I drink some more water. So that's an automation, and I pair that automation. And then I still make time to say, good job, you drank your water, because then it creates that automation. So that's how we don't rely on motivation. But guess what? The more that we do the desired behavior, the more motivated we are to do the thing, because, oh, I want to get that reinforcement. I want to get that kudos. I want to feel proud of myself. And that's what I encourage you to do with anything. First, evaluate what is your current automation? What are you already doing? Number two, what is a desired thing that you want to do? And number three, celebrate it. Excuse me. I should drink some water while I'm here. Sorry. I'm going to do that. Excuse me.
Yes, not a problem. It's all good. And thank you. And I love it. Like pairing those things, attaching something onto something that you already do.
Absolutely. It makes a lot of sense. And for the clients that I have that pair their desired behavior to existing behavior, have been able to automate and create the results that they want for their life and find the confidence to achieve the things that they want.
Love it. Love it. Pairing your desired behavior to an existing behavior. Love that. Definitely going to be rewatching this video. And again, for everyone out there who is watching either live or on the replay, do stop and write down all these nuggets. And of course, we will be putting all your links in the comments, Julie, where people can get in contact with you as soon as we finish. Now, tell us, we were talking a little bit before we did come live, that you've got some programs and things that you'd like to offer. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So one of the things that, and this is just for anybody in your community, Sophia, I am so passionate about making sure that you have a plan, because if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. That's just simple. If you think, oh, I'm going to do that, but you never sit down and plan it out, you're not going to be able to achieve what you want for yourself. So every year I host what I call my CEO retreat. And typically the CEO retreat is either for past clients or people who want to plan out their year so that they can become the CEO of their life and business. And typically it is a cost, but for anybody in your community, I'm offering it for free. Typically people pay about $500 to come and spend the day with me. It's a virtual retreat. We plan out your year. We break it out into the 4 quarters, and then we plan all of the actions that you need to take. We reverse engineer the actions that you need to take daily, weekly, monthly in order to achieve the goal. So whether it be writing that book in 2023, or you're looking to expand the number of clients that you service, or you want to launch a podcast or something big, or even maybe you want to just scale up in your career. It's going to take some planning, and it's going to take some action in your part. And I walk you through the process of how to be able to do that, being able to prioritize daily what matters, and ensuring that you're not spending time spinning your wheels, throwing spaghetti at the wall. So anybody from your community, I'm going to open it up, because I know that you do incredible work. You have some incredible heart center individuals part of the community. And I have benefited just from being here the many times and hearing people just pour into others. So if you want to participate, you will have the link for that. I do have that coming up. It is going to be the first week in the weekend in December. You also get the recording, and then you get the planning companion guide that you can check in. I also have individuals that we will help in the first month. You get to attend a mastermind meeting. So you not only get the one planning day, the CEO retreat, but you will get to attend a Q&A weekly for the month of January, where you can come and make sure that you're doing the right implementation, because a lot of people will help you plan, but I am here to help you in the implementation as well. So typically working with me, it's an investment, but I am offering this because I really feel passionate that 2023 is the year of abundance and gratitude for people. And I want you to be grateful for what you have in your life and create more abundance for others and create abundance for yourself. So I want to help people get those goals.
Thank you. I mean, what a wonderful offer. I never expected that, which is amazing. So I just want to again, just honor you, because that is an amazing opportunity. And for everyone who is watching this live or the replay, who's a member of our sacred community, do take advantage of this offer, because it won't come again.
Well, and again, like I said, they can attend the Q&As, and you can find me on all of the platforms, Julie DeLucca Collins. You can Google me and you'll find me, and you can send me a message or reach out through Sophia. She will have the links for that, but definitely take advantage, because I feel that any type of support that anybody needs, if I have the means to be able to provide you with something that can get you closer to your dreams, it's all what we're putting out there into the universe. We have so many different things going on in the world right now that we need to go together in order to continue to go forward. We can't just do it alone.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you ever so much. And before we say farewell, is there any other tips that you'd like to share, or anything else about how people can work with you?
Sure.
You do, to clients, anything like that you'd like to share with everyone who is watching?
Well, people typically work with me either one-to-one or on group coaching. I have Confident You, which is the group coaching program. The group coaching is Confident You Build It or Confident You Grow It. And you can go into either one of those programs in whatever stage of your business you are in. If you are looking to really scale and go far, then that Confident You Scale It is for you. And that's the one-to-one program that I offer for individuals. And that's working individually with me. I only have a couple spots left for a one-to-one, but certainly my community really comes together when you work one-to-one with me. You're also part of the community, and you can attend the group coaching sessions. That's typically how people work with me. If I do have a lot of content. I have a lot of free content that you can leverage on the quick links that you have. There's one of my self-confidence mini course is there as well. You can listen to my podcast, Casa de Confidence. And on the podcast, I love to teach and bring incredible guests who are doing some amazing things in the world to really create an impact and grow and help others go along in their journey.
Thank you. Thank you ever so much. And we will certainly be putting all your links in the comments, both here and on with the replay as well. So for everyone who is watching, do keep an eye out for those links. And of course, I'm here to talking with the beautiful Julie, who has so many gifts, so many nuggets. I said so much wisdom on how we can regain our confidence, how we can improve our life and go forward by, pairing our desired behaviors with something that we're already doing is just one. Love it so much, and not comparing ourselves to others. But it's those little steps, those little steps is the main thing. So thank you, Julie. Thank you ever so much for joining us. I really, really appreciate it. I said I will definitely be rewatching this and writing down all the things that you've shared. And I know I've said it before, and I don't know if there's another word. Just thank you, and thank you for touching the lives of people, especially women all over the world, through sharing your gifts and your passion and your wisdom and your experience.
Oh, so kind of you, Sophia. Thank you. It's something that I feel so inspired to do, and because others have done it for me, so I have no choice but to pay it forward.
Thank you. Thank you ever so much. And you have a beautiful day. And for everyone out there who is watching the live or the replay, do click on those links and take advantage of what Julie is offering. Thoroughly recommend it.
Well, thank you. And Sophia, I hope you and everybody watching today can remember to go confidently in the direction of their dreams.